My roommate and I are stuck in a messed up relationship. Our mutual friend set us up. We are both working at the same company. We have been staying together for 14 months. We have about 9 months left on the lease. She is a great roommate and we usually stay out of each other's way. I had a crush on her at the start. About 3 months ago. It was my birthday. She brought booze and we ended up having sex. We haven't stopped since. We have sex and cuddle a bit and then go on with our day. She is always the one who initiates. We are not exclusive or anything. Heck, she even slept with me after coming back from a bad date. I want more but I am unable to even talk about it. We have a pretty decent thing going and I don't want to mess it up. I feel really great about it and sometimes I feel like shit about it. I don't know what the fuck I am going to do. I feel pathetic for feeling this way. I am sleeping with a girl way out of my league. I shouldn't be moping around about her not wanting to be more than just FWB, but she also does things for. Yesterday night she got me my favorite dish when she went out. She also sit next to me when I have minor panic attacks. She cares for me but I don't think she thinks of me as boyfriend material. We just are stuck in a very strange place. I need some advice to handle it and talk about it. Reply to the question. Ask her to grab a meal or coffee with you. See if she wants to go for a walk. Ask her to do stuff with you that you do with friends. Get to know her outside of being coworkers and roommates. You don't have to rush into being boyfriend-girlfriend. My now husband and I hung out and went on dates for like 6 months before we made it official. I think courtship is usually used to describe old-timey relationships or super religious couplings. But I think that it can be a really helpful way to find out if you're compatible with someone. Another reply. Ask her to grab a meal or coffee with you. See if she wants to go for a walk. Ask her to do stuff with you that you do with friends. Get to know her outside of being coworkers and roommates. You don't have to rush into being boyfriend/girlfriend. My now husband and I hung out and went on dates for like 6 months before we made it official. I think courtship is usually used to describe old-timey relationships or super religious couplings. But I think that it can be a really helpful way to find out if you're compatible with someone. Another reply. You are in her league as proven by the fact that she thinks so. That being said, leagues are not a thing and you have self-esteem issues. I think that you may tell her that while you find current arrangement decent, you are not sure whether feel good or bad about it, that you would gladly try for more, but are not sure what she thinks about it. That sort of thing. Sex has emotional consequences. It is a thing and it might be better to know where you stand than having to analyze every time she is nice to you. Update. Never thought I would be updating this. I took the advice and decided to take it slow and just not spill my feelings, but the idea of spending time with her without telling her my feelings felt terrible. I was pretty miserable for 2 days and she ended up asking me why I looked awfully sad and if she could do anything to fix my mood. I spilled all my feelings for her. It was probably the most unromantic confession ever. She was really surprised that I was into her. We spent the whole night talking. She told me she had been crushing on me forever since we moved in. She said she never though someone as sweet as me could fall for a callous inconsiderate be like her. I have never heard bullshit like that before. She is a bit cold and she doesn't smile a lot, but that doesn't make her callous or inconsiderate. She has done a million things for me since we have moved in. I think we both realized that we could have been together way earlier if it wasn't for our fucked up self-perception issues. We mostly joked about going to therapy and shit we went through growing up. She is fucked up too, but in a way different way than I am. Lol. On a serious note, we are both planning on going to therapy. We could have been together for so many months. But we both thought the other would never both with the other. WTF. My parents actively discouraged me from doing it and her parents said she needed therapy to be kinder. So haha. This is pretty scary, but we both are gonna try to make this work. Another reply. Do note that therapy can be intense for you both and might put a strain on your relationship too. It could be great if you're going into therapy at the same time and find support in each other for all the hard things you'll work through. At the same time, it might be a lot to go through it yourself and also having to deal with a new partner that is also going through a tough time. You'll need to focus on yourself, and that might be hard if your partner needs support too. Don't let this keep you from going to therapy. But be aware that the whole situation might get too much for one of you, and to be open about it to each other. I hope it works out. Another reply. I have a strange opinion about your relationship with her, but it's complicated and I probably shouldn't say it since things are okay between you. Take easy steps and don't rush anything. A piece of advice is to expect anything when you're in a relationship, so you shouldn't ever invest in others more than yourself in an imbalanced way. Do your best to solve any major issues impacting your life first and foremost. Good luck in your odd and interesting relationship, hope it's a start for something better. Another reply. Wow, neither of your set's parents are not doing the two of you any favors in terms of getting into healthy relationships. Hope your parents are speaking from a don't X where you eat standpoint and are not trying to tell you who is in your league. I cannot tell what all is inner monologue and what you have actually told her, but it would be healthy for her if you express in which ways her parents are wrong. You have definitely described a kind and empathetic person. Just because she doesn't default to bubbly, she is looking after you. Another reply. Good luck to the two of you. You finally shot your shot and now you know. Therapy can be very hard work, but it is never time wasted, as you will find out all sorts about yourself you never knew. Yes, sometimes you have to dig down into what hurt you and feel hurt all over again, but you will have a professional with you to guide you through it this time. Another reply. It's a better story this way. Good on both of you for therapy. Because those fucked up self-perception issues are hard to shake. They definitely creep in when you have conflict. Work on yourselves and then maybe some coupling counseling to proactively understand how to best communicate and support each other through stresses. Don't wait to get help to save a failing relationship. Get help building a strong one. Good luck. Next story. Husband insists I must be having an inappropriate relationship for maintaining a platonic mentoring relationship with someone in my field. There is some important background information that I think is relevant to the situation. Husband, 37, and I, 37, began dating in high school and have been married for 17 years. He has always been the jealous type, and until recently I made the mistake of catering to it. He cheated with the same person 3 times in our relationship, once in high school, once when we were engaged, once 5 years ago, and we worked through it, and the only time it ever comes up anymore is when he makes these accusations because it feels like projection to me. Long story short, I maintain a platonic relationship with someone I used to work with who mentored me when I first entered the niche field I work in. I'm in management in that field now, 1,000 miles away from where I used to live. And this person has written my recommendation letters and always offered sound professional advice. This being a niche field, the circles are small, and it's always good to have people in the field who understand the nuances and who can help give perspective on the unique problems that arise. I speak to this person a couple of times a month, casually. About work, mutual acquaintances, the weather, and very occasionally about our kids who share a disorder my child was recently diagnosed with. This relationship is completely platonic, and neither of us have ever seen it as anything but that. Recently my husband was looking through my phone and happened to see a message where we discussed A, the bizarre weather patterns we were seeing, B, the status of a mutual friend impacted by said weather, C, frustrations about complications in our field this time of year, and D, I had shared a picture of flooding that breached our house in recent storms. Mind you, I also shared this picture with my entire team at work, a 70-year-old male colleague, several other team members at other job sites, etc. This was in no way anything private or intimate. Well, my husband is convinced that I am having an inappropriate relationship and I cannot convince him otherwise. I have explained to him that that is not the nature of this nor has it ever been, but he will not hear it. He insists that I won't admit to myself why I've kept this person in my life for so long. And if I would just admit to my infidelity like he did, we could move on. But there's nothing to admit. The kicker is that my husband has always had platonic female friendships that I've never questioned or interfered with. He's had the freedom to go out to happy hours with friends or colleagues without me being upset or tracking his location or making accusations. I'll admit I don't talk a lot about the people I currently work with, or mention names, because he instantly becomes suspicious. So there are some things about my current place of work I cannot share because he becomes irrationally upset at the mere thought of me possibly interacting with men, despite my field being male-dominated. The other day when I mentioned my colleague's house had been damaged by recent storms, his only reaction was, "I've never heard you mention colleague's name." The more I write, the more I'm realizing that this is just one big exercise in projection and I've allowed myself to be played. I feel like I'm constantly on trial for a crime I didn't commit. Yesterday my teenage daughter noticed the tension and said, "Geez, Dad is mad at you again?" He literally gets mad at you for everything. It's like you can't even live your life, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Regardless, I blocked my friend on all forms of contact to make my husband feel better, but I'm really kneecapping my own career growth in this niche field due to his own insecurities. However, I came here for honest, unbiased perspectives. For people to look at the facts of the situation and tell me if maybe I am being inappropriate and maybe I should just respect the boundaries he has in place. How do I resolve this situation without admitting to something I haven't done? How can we possibly move past this and establish a healthier relationship? TLDR, husband who previously cheated is insisting I am cheating when I am not and will not move on until I admit to something I haven't done. Reply to the question. I know it's hard to leave because you have a family with this man, but it sounds like in this relationship, you have to deal with both regular cheating from him and his constant suspicion that you are cheating. I hate to say it, but you two didn't actually work through his cheating, or you would both have a healthier view of honesty and trust in a relationship. You just stayed despite the cheating. Your husband is not acting trustworthy, and is demanding you cater to his insecurities that he has created based on his own cheating. Have either of you had counseling, either as a couple or individually? If you don't want to just leave, I would set some conditions. The first being that your husband go to counseling to talk about both his history of cheating and his unfounded accusations that you are cheating. Second, he needs to stop looking through your phone and other private communications. He is looking for evidence of cheating, and when he can't find any, he latches on to whatever is supportive of his projection. He is overstepping into your other relationships and isolating you from people due to his jealousy, which is a big red flag. For yourself, I would also consider therapy. You are putting up with so much bad treatment from him, from the multiple cheating to unfounded suspicion and anger. That is not easy and not something you deserve, and therapy can help you gain insight into why you accept treatment from him that you don't deserve. Another reply. So, just to be blunt, is this the type of situation you want your daughter living in? Would you want her to give up long-term friends because her cheating spouse projects his own behavior on her? Because y'all are your kid's basis for normal relationships. Sure, she may see that it's kind of messed up, but it's the general guideline. In any case, even beyond that, your daughter is right. And it is not a fair way to live, just appeasing your husband. Unblock your friend. People need these relationships, and he has done absolutely nothing to warrant you just blocking him and disappearing. Couples counseling if you want to continue trying to make this work. Spuns like he needs his own therapist too. And maybe you, because why are you even humoring this crap? Figure out who he's cheating with this time, because it sure as shit sounds like he's shifting blame to you to justify whatever he's up to. Another reply. Unblock your friend. This man is not your partner. He isn't there for you to be successful in your partnership because when one of you succeeds, both of you succeed. He is there to control you because he is unable to control himself. He thinks his flaws and failures are your flaws and failures. What he is telling you is he is cheating on you or wants to, and because of this you must be cheating on him or want to do. You deserve more than this. You are a whole person with your own amazing personality traits and flaws. You deserve to be with someone who respects that and understands you as a person. Your husband clearly can't see beyond himself, but you can. You have an attitude many people and relationships value, and you shouldn't waste that on someone who doesn't see it. I'm sorry, but when reading your post I can't help but think you already know this isn't how you saw your life, and you see that your daughter wants better for you too. Which means you raised her right, and what better lesson to show her than the lesson of demanding better for yourself and understanding that you deserve more than to be controlled by another person, especially one that clearly has a lot of personal growth to do. Another reply. For the love of God, unblock your friend and stand your ground with your husband. You need to be firm and assertive with him and go line by line about his actions over the last several years, and the fact that he cheated multiple times. You don't get to say a damn word about any relationships I have. You honestly wish I was cheating. That way you feel you can be let off the hook for your actions. I hate to get your hopes up, but I'm not cheating on you, and this will be the last time we speak about it. Your mistakes are your own, and we won't be together any longer if you insist on projecting your mistakes onto me. I'm tired of getting treated like crap for shit you did. I will not tolerate it anymore. He needs to understand that he will cause a divorce if he ever tries this crap again, and he needs to know you see it for what it is, that his bullshit attitude on his cheating is trying to figure out a way to get off the hook, and he decided to blame you instead. Personally, I would tell him he will go get therapy immediately for his insecurities based on his cheating, or he will be divorced and the kids will know every single detail about his actions. He can be a deadbeat projecting his issues on others all by himself, but it has no place in your marriage. Another reply. Your husband is not the jealous type. He is a serial cheater who excuses it in head with the rationalization everyone does it, so it's not that bad when I do it, and this is why he is so obsessed with finding proof of you cheating, so he has evidence to make himself feel better about his own cheating. Because he's a cheat and deep down he knows it's wrong and makes him a shitty person, and he doesn't want to deal with that. Serial cheating cannot be fixed. It's a habit so deeply ingrained no amount of therapy will make it go away. One single first instance of cheating can take 3 to 5 years of therapy to resolve. And this guy cheats on you so often he's completely irrational about any human contact you have, no matter what it looks like. If he goes shopping with you, or out to dinner, and you're nice to the male staff member who serves you, he thinks you're flirting with them. You literally cannot have any contact with someone of the opposite sex without him thinking you're like him. This is never going to change. There's no magic words you can say to fix this situation, and there's nothing you can do to change his cheating behavior. He's going to keep cheating on you, and he's going to keep making himself believe you are too in order to justify it and accusing you of it. He doesn't trust you because he knows he cannot be trusted. He doesn't respect you because he doesn't respect himself, because deep down he knows he's a shitty person. Love is trust and respect. You have neither. Is that the kind of relationship you really want to be in for the rest of your life? Another reply. Nope. Absolutely not. This is not how things work. If you have consistently shown that you are loyal and truthful, there is absolutely no excuse for his behavior. It's unacceptable, at minimum. It's outrageous when the story evolves to include that this dude is a cheating douchebag on top of it. The icing on the cake is the giant arrogant balls dude must have to confront you, accuse you of something inappropriate with zero evidence, have a history of seeking out and fucking other women and causing you to feel emotional turmoil over something completely innocent. You know the truth. Fuck explaining it to him. He's lucky you are still speaking to him after he dipped his junk 3 times before. I've never recommend this before, but you should ghost that fucker. Just up and leave when he's at work without even a kiss my ass. Well, maybe email him a link to this thread so he can truly understand what a piece of shit he is. Another reply. This man has been cheating on you with the same partner for 2 decades. I would bet good money that he still is. If not, it's with someone new. His behavior here is a combination of projection. He can't imagine you could platonically text someone because he wouldn't, and misdirection. If you're busy defending yourself against his wild accusations, you're not focused on his sketchy behavior. This man is happy to drive your career and personal friendships into the ground while fucking someone he's been fucking since high school. Get yourself some freedom. You are still young and you have a shot at many years of happiness without this absolute joy leech making your life worse. And you have a chance to show your kids while they're still kids that this kind of behavior from a partner isn't tolerable. Don't wait till you see your son/daughter-in-law treating your kids like this, or your kids treating their partners like your husband treats you, and you can only experience regret. Take control of your life now. Another reply. Your husband sounds like a garbage partner and is projecting his own insecurities on you because he is a serial cheater. While I always contend that having even the most innocent of relationships/friendships with members of the opposite sex is a bad idea, if you aren't deleting messages and have nothing to hide, but he's getting mad about whether chat, that's his problem. You forgave unforgivable betrayal 3 times, and instead of groveling and being appreciative of your openness, honesty and ability to forgive, has taken the opposite route, the one most cheaters take, and are overly defensive and accusatory because he knows if it was him talking innocently to a woman, it would mean he was on the road to an affair. He sucks. I can't imagine staying with someone like him. You mentioned how blocking this person and having to act like this is damaging to your career aspirations, but man, I'd be way more focused on how your terrible marriage is affecting your daughter and other kids if you have. You're worrying about a title change and pay raise down the line while ignoring the misery of your home life and the example you're setting for your daughter. Your career should be way down the list of concerns that this man is creating in your life. Another reply. I guess you don't know better since you met so young, but this is not how relationships should be. My first 2 relationships were like yours. He could do whatever he wanted because he loved me and didn't know better, he just had a lapse in judgment. They could live their lives while I had to have shackles on. Like, shame on you. Why did that guy like your new profile pic or post on Facebook while they were liking away, flirting, and more? One of them even tried to shelter me from social life in high school and tried to talk me out of university, because in his opinion the male should have highest education and pay rate. Don't be another victim of toxic masculinity. You don't deserve the distrustfulness or the worry. Find someone who thinks it's awesome you have this true friendship with someone who understands your niche field. Find someone who thinks you're awesome and supports you. Or find no one at all, because everything is better than being suppressed to a sad nothing without real friends whose only goal is to support a cheating scumbag. Another reply. 1. Unblock your friend on all channels. Keep friends. This person has been a good friend and a mentor to you. They're an important work contact. Don't hurt this person or yourself or your career by cutting them out. Please note that if your husband truly appreciated and respected you, it would never occur to him to ask you to cut an important friend/work contact out of your life. 2. Your husband is being controlling and abusive. Walking on eggshells around someone, being accused of things you haven't done, and convincing you to cut out healthy relationships are all classic signs of abuse. He can feel love for you and you feel love for him, and it still not be a healthy fit. 3. Sometimes people think, but we've been together so long. Feeling like you can't leave something because you've put in so much time is called a sunk cost fallacy. You can Google and read about that. But basically, please trust that you have had your life and learned things, and leaving won't erase any happy memories, but it will prevent more bad ones from forming. At the very least, I suggest keeping your friendships intact, and getting yourself into therapy. Just you. I also personally think you'd gain a ton of clarity by leaving this man. You'd see you don't have to live this way. Your daughter will see that she doesn't have to accept this shit from future partners. Your daughter wants you to be able to live your life. That's what she's telling you. You don't have to keep living like this. It shouldn't be this way. All of that is besides the cheating. And the cheating on you also really sucks and shows a true lack of respect, and also a true deep set of insecurities on his part. You shouldn't have to be the one to suffer because of his untreated confidence/trauma issues. Maybe he had a shitty childhood. Maybe he suffered addiction or trauma. I don't know his story. I do know that he's a grown-ass adult who should be managing his own mind and emotions instead of turning and dumping shit on you. That is not okay. We all need to take care of our own shit no matter what we've been through in life. Lastly, I believe in you. I hope for better for you. Get back in touch with your friend. Make your own life and your own career and your daughter and any other kids you have your priorities. You got this. Another reply. Even if your husband hadn't cheated on you an absurd amount of times with the same person, his behavior is controlling and abusive. You can't even mention another coworker's name without him getting suspicious. He has you convinced that it's reasonable to block your best professional reference to prove you're not cheating. Seriously. I can't tell you to leave him because if he's carried on what amounts to a decade-long on-again off-again mistress and you still won't leave him, then maybe you just don't want to leave him. But for Pete's sake, don't let this man ruin your life anymore. Tell him to shut TF up. Lock your phone. Network in your field freely. If he starts accusing you of shit, start walking away. I've said all I have to say about this. Then leave the room, walk away, refuse to engage. You do not have to tolerate this insane behavior.